Call the Tuesday, January 28th meeting to order. Interim Chief Martin, will you give the invocation?
Sure. Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight, and we thank you, Lord, for our health and our ability to be here. We pray, Father, that you examine our hearts and fill us with wisdom so that the result of our efforts will bring glory to you and you alone. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Chief Hawkins, will you lead the pledge?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk will now give the oath of office to Mr. Ray West.
Can you read that okay?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
That's big.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ray West,
I, Ray West,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications prescribed by law,
that I possess all the qualifications prescribed by law,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri,
the provisions of the city charter and ordinances of the city of Carthage,
the provisions of the city charter and the ordinances of the city of Carthage,
and faithfully demean myself in office,
faithfully demean myself in office,
and well and truly perform the duties of the office of council member
and well and truly perform the duties of office of council member. Pardon.
within it and for said city to the best of my skill and ability.
Within and for said city to the best of my skill and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Mr. West.
Thank you.
Clerk will now call the roll.
Taylor,
Present.
Peterson,
Present.
West,
Present.
Lease,
Present.
Heckmaster,
Present.
Barlow,
Here.
Schramm.
Present.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the January 14th council meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes of the January 14th.
I second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the January 14th council meeting. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion carried. We'll now have a presentation by Jeff Meredith with the CEDC.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council, members of the audience. On a quarterly basis, I'm supposed to be giving a presentation, giving you all an update on what the Carthage Economic Development Corporation has been doing. While I see you all and meet with you regularly, I've not necessarily focused on the strategic plan, so I wanted to go ahead and get back to doing that. So for tonight, we're going to have a little bit of an update. For those of you that have been to either my board meeting or the CWEP board meeting this month, my apologies, you have seen this information before. So the plan details, we do have a strategic plan. It was crafted between June of 2021 and January of 2022. It's commonly known as the 80 Advantage Plan because that was the strategic planners who came into Carthage and worked on that. Many of you who were involved might have been part of those discussions and roundtables as they focused on some of the things that Carthage was looking for, long-term as well as just providing some research. Effectively, it's big picture planning for the economic development of the city, and it forms some of the guidelines for the Memorandum of Understanding between the City of Carthage, Carthage Water and Electric Plant, and the CEDC. These graphics, while I've stolen these off of the internet, I do not own the rights to this material, I have the marathon there because economic development, it's really not a race you can finish. It's something that's always ongoing, and while I wish there were a line to know what we can reach for and find that, ultimately the line keeps moving. However, in the process, we do try and celebrate those victories, and we've had a few victories during my short time here. So trying to do that, and then we just kind of focus on what the big picture in the future of Carthage will be. So for those of you that have seen the strategic plan, and if you've not, I'm happy to email that to you, or maybe hide it on my website and send you a link, because it's a very large document and might not actually fit through most emails. So this is kind of how it's set up. There are core pillars and area of focus, and then within those areas of focus, there are strategies. So the pillars are alignment and regionalism, with the focus areas being roles and responsibilities and partnership building. Readiness is a core pillar, and within that is product readiness, talent, community, and innovation readiness. And then marketing differentiation is the final pillar, and the areas of focus for that are marketing and messaging, as well as advocacy. So for today, I'm going to be focused on the readiness strategies, and then with the other two pillars, then we'll basically talk about those in future quarters, and then one quarter is frankly going to be me just shamelessly talking about all the good things that have happened during the time. So product readiness strategies. Within that, some of these are to inventory and prioritize sites and buildings available for best use. So for this, I do regularly go around town speaking with commercial realtors that own properties, own buildings, that have them for lease or for sale, to try and identify what's going to be a good business to go into a certain location. As an example, for downtown, you're probably looking at more of your locally owned businesses, because that's kind of that core downtown feel, the small business owner. Whereas as I start to look at larger regional or national chains, they're going to want to be near the highway because of the traffic that Interstate 49 affords us. The other part of that is land and buildings are considerably more expensive near the interstate because of the traffic. So those large chains can better support the overhead of those properties to actually still maintain a profitable business. Understanding and developing the product pipeline, that is finding the businesses and what they're looking for as far as needs. I've had some businesses express interest in being in Carthage, but we frankly don't have a suitable location for them because they're not prepared to build a $300,000 to $500,000 building so they can start a business. They'd much prefer to move into a strip mall that maybe has a drive-through on the end, and then they can just go in there and then they can start offering their, we've got some restaurants that have an interest. Identify and develop key assets for targeted industries. Industries are a focus of the CEDC because with those primary jobs, that's how we actually grow the Carthage wealth. So as an example, Leggett & Platt manufactures parts for mattresses and things. Well, every mattress that's sold is not for a Carthage resident. So by them selling mattresses and parts to individuals that don't live in Carthage, we're taking money from Montana and New York and across the country back to Carthage to grow the Carthage economy through external sales. Whereas a local business is primarily selling to your local market. So basically we're just kind of recirculating the same dollars through and through. So one of the key assets here is developing the economic development park out there by the hospital, because obviously that is a key asset to try and attract some of these large businesses. And with that, we've also had the Olson study updated to refresh some of the things that we're looking at with some new data focused on the 250 acres versus the original 700 acres that was the original part of that study itself. Talent readiness, this is facilitating coordination between the supply and demand side of talent and how to address the gaps. So the supply side of talent is going to be our school districts. And while we focus on Carthage schools, people from Jasper, Sarcoxy, Diamond, other districts are also sending their graduates to our town to work. So trying to reach out to some of those communities and basically get in front of the students. From a workforce perspective, it's not necessarily saying the jobs that the CEDC has, because frankly there's not any, but more what the big picture opportunities are in this town, and to some degree how to actually kind of navigate your way through those. Educating students, parents, and counselors on Carthage opportunities. For that, I will be participating with the CTC Career Fair next week, and also then trying to get into some of the other school districts and just talk to classes. I know I'm a middle-aged guy that's not cool or hip for these high school students, but I can still talk to them about different things, and frankly, how to make more money as you get older. Work-ready community. Jasper County was the first county in the nation to be a work-ready community. That's based upon a variety of thresholds met, having people take tests, and then getting employers to support. So we're going to try and keep that certification up and going. So soon you'll be hearing me or seeing me reach out to different companies to basically get them to encourage supporting the Work Ready Community Initiative for Jasper County. When I met with some of my partners on that, ultimately we're not sure how we're using it a lot here in Jasper County, but when we ask for funds from the state of Missouri, one of the questions is, are you a Work Ready community? So there's no reason to not keep that as a yes. We don't want reasons to basically be excluded for some of these things. Community readiness, that's support and facilitating placemaking efforts within Carthage. Again, that's looking at the businesses and trying to help, think of it kind of like a chessboard, sort of trying to help find the businesses and sort of move around there. Feasibility of new quality of life amenities. Again, the CEDC is not building any of these things, but I know that there is a recently mayor-appointed committee to look at the Aquatic Center for Carthage. And Ms. Almendinger either selected me or got stuck with me to be one of the approvals on that one. So happy to work on that to see how we can try and help make that a reality for Carthage. Community for current and future housing needs. As most of you know, we do have a housing study. I've been told I should have that early February. Once I have that, then I can take that to developers and builders to try and figure out how we can get some of them to build more houses here in Carthage. If they want to build here and the price point is here, then part of my job is to figure out how we can close that gap. How we do that, couldn't tell you, but we'll figure it out as we go. Community for other talent barriers. We did help get a grant for one of the childcare facilities here in Carthage, and we're working with a local church to see what we can do to try and help them. They have an interest in doing this and get them to move from a church to actually a childcare facility. So we're going to have a call. There's a consultant that helps with childcare units to try and bring them in and just kind of walk through the church and see what are the next steps to help get them from basically A to B. Innovation readiness. Identify current resources for startups. The Small Business Development Center at Missouri Southern is great for that. However, if I do have businesses come and ask me about things, I'm happy to sit down with them and talk about some potential locations for that and just frankly the feasibility of it. Cultivating the innovation economy within Carthage. We don't have a lot of that currently. The little graphic there that was also stolen from the internet is for what's known as like angel investors, where basically you get a group of people that are willing to invest in businesses. Think of it kind of like Shark Tank on the local level. But we don't have that yet, but that's something to be considered in the future to help cultivate that innovation economy. So with that in mind, are there any questions? Thank you all very much. See you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Meredith. We'll now move on to public comments. Each person addressing council shall state their name and address or organization or firm represented. It's limited to no more than 5 minutes. Time may be extended by the chair if deemed necessary. Once a person has had their say on a particular issue, they are not permitted to once again speak on the issue unless called to answer any further questions by the council or the chair. Ms. Reams.
Hello. I am Julie Reams, President of the Carthage Chamber, 402 South Garrison. While we are continuing to work and do our magic in promoting the community, so Jeff has more people to talk to, creating that cultivation, we are happy to do so. And I wanted to come and give you all just an update on what we've been working on and what is coming for the next 6 months. We're halfway through our year. While I don't want to reveal numbers and things like that, we're halfway through. So just to let you know what's coming, how we can better serve our community. On this Friday, we have our Carthage Stakeholder Legislative Review. That is with Senator Jill Carter and House Representative Kathy Loy. Many of you have responded that you will come to that. If you haven't and would like to come, please let me know. It is an invitation-only event. It is bringing a lot of our stakeholders in our community that we can hear from them and they can hear from us, because how can they help us if they don't know what our needs are? This does replace the eggs and issues that have been going on for many, many, many years. After many conversations with local chambers that partner with that for months from now until May, it just wasn't becoming effective. And we decided we're all doing our own thing and making that shift and focusing on our leaders that make those decisions for us in Jeff City. And I've been traveling back and forth there quite a bit. We are currently, I know it's hard to believe, but Maple Leaf is right around the corner. I mean, 9 months away does not seem like a lot of time. So we are working on the 59th Annual Maple Leaf Festival. We are adding some new great things that I'm super excited about, and we are going to be changing some existing ones that were hard to get entries for and things like that. So look for that to come. I am working with the graphic students at the Tech Center to create the festival logo, and that is exciting to create that collaboration. I am working with our television partners to really make that a big deal and unveil it and actually give the students some recognition as well, because I do think that that's very important to keep them engaged in the community. On March 13th, for those that are running for mayor and city council, we'll be once again hosting our candidate forum at Carthage Water and Electric. Ted, I'm not gonna even try to say his last name, with KZRG will be the moderator, and we talked today, and we have a really good plan moving forward with that. On March 28th and 29th, we will have our business expo at the city's Memorial Hall, and we are almost full of vendors, which we just put that out there. It's a game show, or it's a board game theme, and we're almost full, which that is really great. I made a shift this year, and you have to be a chamber member in order to participate, because that's what's making our community work. And I know there were some outside organizations that were not very happy, but I welcome them. If you're gonna take money out, you need to be putting it back in, and that starts with your local chamber, so we can provide programs and community involvement for our citizens and businesses. We're also planning a new event, listening to a lot of the shopping community and our businesses, and a lot of things that are coming down. You hear the news, you're not oblivious to some things. There are a lot of things that are concerning that will affect a lot of our businesses, and I'm listening, and I'm trying to create the quality programs for not only our community to come out, but also our businesses. On April 11th and 12th, we will be doing a Spring Fling shopping event. It's not a sidewalk sale, it's a shopping event to try to get people to come to town. I met with Vision Carthage today, and we're gonna partner to make that really cool. It's the week before Easter. I heard the Easter Bunny might be here, and giving some different coupons with Easter eggs and things like that. So look for that to come and help us and support that as well. We are planning it's our third annual Community Earth Day celebration on April 26th in Central Park. Again, it will feature our businesses that they can come out for free, pop up a table, and do a community something outreach with kids about Earth Day. We're encouraging and working with the school and working with Art Central to create a Earth Day window contest. I'm super sorry, and I'm probably gonna go over. So kids can come and paint the windows in commemoration of Earth Day. Our Empowering Women continues to just amaze me month after month. It is bringing women from really all over the area that is coming to Carthage to hear these speakers, to just network and feed their brain. This has really become very part of our portfolio, and in March we will begin a new initiative with the men's breakfast, and that will be held at the Y, and ladies lunch, men like to breakfast and get up early, but those will be initiatives, and I listened and I heard the men, and I said we can give you something too, and so that will happen as well. We're currently working on our chamber banquet, which will be June 5th, again at Memorial Hall, and that is a celebration to our businesses with a lot of awards and honors on that. We're consistently continuing to grow all of our networking events, like our chamber coffees. If you haven't been one, you're really missing out, because I couldn't even, 3 years ago when I started, I couldn't even get a business to host one, and if they hosted one, 5 people came, and my board's like, I don't know if this is feasible. I'm like, no, it's gonna work. And now we have like 80 of our businesses coming together and networking and trading cards and giving testimonials about how these businesses are trading with each other, and that really means a lot in the business community. That is golden. I wish I should record them every single time. But if an employer can't come, what's most important is they're sending their employees, and that's retention. That employee feels valued. So we will continue to keep doing these, which is every Friday, and then once a month with the after hours. And lastly, we continue to promote our community and our businesses. We have traffic. I couldn't get anything done today because I had so many people coming in and just excited about what's going on in Carthage and things that we are offering and things that other people are doing. And I'm always happy to share that. But I really want to say this in an open meeting. I really appreciate Tracy and her open dialogue and her value and her input as we move forward. I do appreciate her continuing to let the chamber have a seat at the table. And I think that that's very important. Our focus and mission and drive are to keep Carthage moving up, and I truly enjoy working with you to make all these things possible. Thank you. There really is so much more to come. I could go on and I'm over, but I thank you all. My door is always open. I'm there to listen to you all as the governing body. I'm here to listen to our businesses and our community as well. And if I'm happy to answer any questions, but I'm always here for a one-on-one as well. So thank you for letting me be your leader for the past 3 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. We'll now have reports of standing committees, Budget Ways and Means, Chairperson Heckmaster.
The Budget Ways and Means Committee is in between meetings. The next meeting is scheduled for Monday, February 10th at 5:30 PM here in council chambers.
Thank you. Committee on Insurance Audit and Claims, Chairperson Schramm.
The Committee on Insurance Audit and Claims met tonight before the meeting at 5:30. We had an amount of claims for review of $4,019,641.25, which we'll go over later, but some of the biggest numbers in that was for Republic Service, which is our waste system, is $157,504.05. The roundabout was $421,769.69. Zanovan Engineering was $61,146.85, and $25,000 of that was for the roundabout work. We also had a bill from, I did have their name, Innovation Services for $8,309, and that was the absolute total cost of our new desk. So it was a great deal at under $8,300 for the new council desk, which surprised me. And then we had a few topics that we motioned to move on to council, and that was to approve some upgrades in the job descriptions for some administrative assistants. The first one is for the fire department administrative assistant. What happened was in the McGrath salary study, these items were not graded as we thought they would, because when they came through and put their responsibilities, they should have been an upgrade of one step at least. So what this has done is approving them to be moved to the next step up. And I'll need a motion again to, and a second to approve the fire department administrative assistant, that new, the new
Emergency Management Coordinator.
emergency management coordinator position on that. And that one actually did move up two steps. So can I have I make a motion, the first motion to move that on to council.
Second.
Okay, so council can approve it, right?
You're actually making the motion to approve the change in the job description.
Okay, the change in the job description for the fire department administrative assistant.
So I have a motion and a second to approve the job description for the fire department administrative assistant to include the emergency management coordinator responsibilities. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the second one was for the administrative assistant for the Parks and Rec, and that was also a step-up upgrade, and I make a motion that we approve that.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the job description for the Parks and Recs administrative assistant. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And one more administrative assistant in the Public Works, that's also a job grade upgrade to one step. For that, I make a motion that we approve the new job description.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the job description for the Public Works Department administrative assistant. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And I just want to say how this goes to our human resources and Tracy for really looking at each job and making sure that each job description fits that, that person, what they're doing at the time, and all things are taken into account and not just a blanket over everyone to say that they, that we followed the McGrath study to the letter, but each one was looked at. So thank you. And I'd like to make a motion to donate our old desk from, well, that'll be found in Resolution 2072 later. And also, we have a resolution coming up for the change of the CWP board member terms for Darren Collier. Do you want to wait till later to explain that, or? Okay, we'll go over that later. And the only other thing in the staff, Miranda stated that they were going to be working on the new budget next week with the department heads to go into the 5-year plan, also along with the budget. And Miranda will be cross-training with Tracy to learn the budget process. And the new tourism director is in place, Melissa Little, for the public information officer and the tourism director. So we welcome her. And
Tracy.
So when we were reviewing the job descriptions for the administrative assistants, one thing that, in talking with Morgan Hausch, who is the fire department's administrative assistant, she has actually been performing the duties for the emergency management coordinator prior to 2020. So I did ask committee for council approval to move Morgan from step 1 to step 2.
yes, and we had approved that. And
So
that
I
was in her
need
job.
counsel- I need
You need that
counsel.
one also, it wasn't in just her. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve Morgan Hausch for going on to step 2 instead of step 1. in her-
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to move Morgan House from step 1 to step 2. Any discussion? Yes.
So to do that, it is included in our personnel policy manual, and it does take council approval to advance someone from up a step, so that's why we're doing this.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And I believe that's all I have unless Tracy tells me otherwise. Our next meeting is February 11th at 5:30.
Thank you, Ms. Ram. Public Safety Committee, Chairperson Heckmaster.
The Public Safety Committee met in council chambers last night at 5:30 PM hearing. The first item on the agenda was to review the provisions for collective bargaining for the Fraternal Order of Police. As discussed in the December 16th Public Safety Committee, the Lodge 27 of the Fraternal Order of Police requested that the City of Carthage recognize Lodge 27 as the exclusive bargaining representative for the city's police officers for the purposes of collective bargaining with law enforcement personnel. A 5-page document was provided for the committee's review last night. There were 2 subsections that require further clarity. This contract will be returned to the Public Safety Committee in our next scheduled meeting. I have every reason to believe that all will be in order and the provisions in Council Bill would be adopted. I move that we table Council Bill 2506 until the next meeting of the Public Safety Committee.
I'll second.
We've got a motion and a second to table Council Bill 2506 until after the next Public Safety Committee meeting. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next, we heard from Megan Milliken, representing CWNP. Ms. Milliken, excuse me, I'm sorry, presented plans for their annual Tower to Tower 5K and 1 mile fun run. If it was me running, indeed, the fun run would be a better choice. The run is held in honor of Driving Water Week, which is, I believe that is Drinking Water Week, which this year is May 4th through 10th. The run will begin at 8:00 a.m. on Saturday, May 10th, 2025. There are 2 options for the run, a 1 mile fun run or a 5K route. Both runs began at 826 East George E. Phillips Boulevard in the parking lot directly west of the South Water Tower. All proceeds from the run will be donated to Water for People, an organization that exists to promote the development of high-quality drinking water and sanitation services accessible to all people. All activities should be concluded by 10:30 a.m. For those who may have questions, contact Megan Milliken, CWNEP Public Relations Manager. While the initial documentation indicated that 3 Kenwood radios were in surplus, there are actually 5 radios in total. All 8 radios were declared last night in last night's committee meeting as surplus. 3 will be donated to Carthage R9 school transportation for the school buses. The remainder will be donated to Carthage Water and Electric Plant. Approval of this donation occurs tonight with a successful council vote on Resolution 2075. For several years, an anonymous $10,000 donation has been made. This donation is directed for use by the Carthage Police Department. Last night, the Public Safety Committee had the pleasure of unanimously voting in favor of accepting another $10,000 donation. Acceptance by the City Council will occur tonight with a successful council vote on Resolution 2071. Interim Fire Chief Jason Martin provided the 2024 year-end report. The breakdown of calls I found quite interesting. 2,003 calls were made both in the city and district. 1,172, or 58.5% of the total were medical calls. There have been several structure fires over the past 2 weeks, and we thank the fire department for their assistance and their dedication in those fires. Fire department project updates include air packs to be ordered through Field Fire, bunker gear purchase of 45 sets will be reviewed by an internal committee, and 3 quotes for a hose purchase were reviewed. The lowest bid of $3,513.52 was a successful bidder. Work is taking place on the capital improvement plan, and today the baby box blessing ceremony occurred at 2:30 p.m. at Station 2. Chief Hawkins stated that the repairs on one of the older vehicles was equivalent to the value of the car. While significant progress has been made on securing quality vehicles for our police department, there is still work to be done. At the next meeting, 2025-2026 capital requests for police and fire departments will be presented. The next meeting of the Public Safety Committee should take place on February 17th. However, this is President's Day with offices closed. Therefore, the next meeting of our committee is 5:30 p.m. February 24th at Carthage City Hall. This concludes my report, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Heckmaster. Public Services Committee, Chairman Barlow.
Mr. Mayor, Public Services Committee met in council chambers at 5:30 on January 21st. Item number 1, approval to proceed with the grant application for upgrades to the Saddle Club Arena was granted. Upgrades will include new bucking and roping chutes and expanded holding pins. This time I make a motion to allow Parks and Recreation to pursue writing a grant in partnership with the Carthage Saddle Club.
Second. I make a motion.
Sorry?
He made the motion, you second?
Second it.
Yeah, thank you.
I've got a motion and a second to approve the writing of a grant by Parks and Recreation Department in conjunction with the Carthage Saddle Club for upgrades to the Saddle Club Arena. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion carried.
Sir. Second item, approval was granted for a food trailer to operate during the June rodeo event at the Saddle Club Arena, allowing the trailer to be set up on the grounds from June 5th through June 8th. At this time, I make a motion to allow the Carthage Saddle Club food trailer to be on the premises between June 5th and 8th for their rodeo.
A second.
Got a motion and a second to allow the food truck at the Saddle Club from June 5th to June 8th. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carried.
Thank you, sir. A proposed rental contract for office space at Memorial Hall was forwarded to the city attorney for review. Next item is a bid of $777,333 for the Fair Acres concession building was rejected. Due to exceeding the budget, alternative options will be explored for the project. Next item is updates to the Parks Operations Assistant job description were forwarded to the Insurance Audit and Claims Committee. And the old Memorial Hall sign, excuse me, was declared surplus. You'll see in Resolution 2068 included in the packet, which authorizes its designation as surplus to the city's needs and approved the disposition of the former Memorial Hall digital sign. Additionally, during a previous Public Services Committee meeting, the committee approved a cost share grant from the Missouri Department of Conservation for the removal and replacement of invasive grasses at the golf course. We were awaiting paperwork from the Department of Conservation, and Resolution 2069, which formalizes this approval, is included in the packet. Public Services Committee will meet again in council chambers February 18 at 5:30 p.m. That's it, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Barlow. Public Works Committee, Mr. Taylor.
Public Works did not have a meeting. We had this month. We had no pressing business. We will have a meeting the first Tuesday in February, and there is some business that's going to be discussed on there about some stuff that we had approved before that the wording ended up not being correct on there, and it's holding up some building progress. But we will take care of that the first Tuesday in February.
Okay.
And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Reports of special committees and board liaisons. Yes, Ms. Lees.
Carthage Water and Electric met on January 16th, and the disbursements were approved for November and December, which were in the amounts of $4,171,068.55 and $4,829,610.79. The financials were presented and approved, noting that the year-to-date financials are on target. And then we went on, Jeff Meredith gave a presentation to us there also. And then they had a problem with the turbo on engine 12. It has some mechanical issues, and it had to be sent to Cooper Machinery because they're qualified for the repairs of that. The estimated cost will be $62,556.10. It could not be delayed because of it was needed. So the cost of repairs were approved by the board. Then they're going to, if they haven't already, I think they were already starting on it, reinstall the 2 transformer. The new transformer that had been on order for 2-1 had an extended delay in delivery. And so to meet the customer load obligations for the Power District Department, it was decided to essentially to reinstall the previously removed transformer. Due to this being urgent, due to like our lovely weather we had, and it was classified under emergency exemption of CWEP's purchasing policy. The cost is expected to be approximately $53,000 and was approved by the board. And then software as a service was requested for approval to proceed with the purchase of utility software. As you know, we might have software for something we use every day, but as time goes on, you have to update your software because it doesn't meet the new requirements of that. So they had to do that so that they can be able to read the meters correctly. Without that, they would not be able to use the AMI system and analyze and receive the data properly. They did a 3-year fixed rate in order to save money. They could save money by doing it as a 3-year fixed rate, so of $74,082.86. And then the board members all got to go to the MPUA facility in Columbia for a tour to do some strategic yearly planning. All of the board members and even myself were asked to fill out a strategic survey, and all of the CWEP employees, and they had like 50% of the employees turn that back in. They were taking that with them, and I'm anxious to hear what the board about their strategic planning and of course the eating, because Jen and I wanted to go just for the food. And then the next board meeting will be at Carthage Water and Electric on February 20th at 3 p.m.
Thank you. Anyone else? Report of the mayor. I've still been meeting with a lot of different groups just to kind of get everyone on the same page and make sure that we have an open line of communication and open dialogue with the different groups in town. So I've been doing that fairly often. And next week, we are going to start working on the budget with the department heads, with capital budgeting, and meeting with them to go over what they would like, what they need, and what they would like to want, and so that we can have those to all the committees next month to review those. Each committee will review those departments' capital budgets next month. Next, reports of council members. Mr. Taylor?
I have nothing tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Peterson?
Nothing of note tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. West?
Just thank everybody for the welcome back, and I'll be up to speed, I hope, pretty soon.
Ms. Lees?
And welcome, Mr. West. And I also wanted to just mention, if everyone would remember, we had a city member that lost a grandparent, and then Kelly Nugent and her family lost her mother on January 24th. So just remember them in your prayers. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Heckmester?
Nothing tonight besides a warm welcome to Mr. West.
Mr. Barlow?
You're here on that? Nothing else, sir.
Ms. Schramm?
Of course, I have a few things. Welcome, Mr. West. We're glad to have you. Last Wednesday, the 15th, I sat in the final rounds of the interviews for the city administrator, and the committee has chosen someone, so I would like for you to know that, and they've been, we're working on paperwork, so we're glad the decision's been made, and we think you'll be happy with it. I attended the CWEP board meeting with Ms. Lees, and an important issue that we need to resolve there is writing up the new resolution for the term, the times on your term, and that two board members only can come up for renewal each year, so we don't have a fiasco like we did before with the CWEP board. So I believe we're working on that resolution to get that passed. I met with Julie at the chamber and had a one-on-one to discuss upcoming events. Yesterday, I met with the Abby at Parks and Rec and the Y director, Jonathan, and the president of the board, along with Tracy Cox and Alan Snow, to talk about how to build our relationship with the Y and involve them in events and programs with the Parks and Rec, and to fully take advantage of what the Y has to offer our city and be a partner with that. And also, I attended the Baby Box blessing today. It was just wonderful. It was beautiful weather. The speakers were wonderful. The clergy kept their blessings very short. And it's a great thing to have in our town. And like everybody says, if just one baby is saved in that, it's well worth it. So I'm proud our city has that. And that is all for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Miscellaneous reports of officer of the city. Chief Hawkins?
Nothing has already been covered tonight.
Interim Chief Martin?
I would say the same. Thank you, Ms. Heckmester and Ms. Schramm, for covering the events so thoroughly.
Ms. Almendinger? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Carney first. I skipped my list here. Mr. Carney?
The only thing I have, excuse me, to announce is that the downtown sidewalk project that everybody's anticipating is scheduled to start February 17th. We will have a meeting a week prior to that with the contractor, with Hessling, to discuss where they're going to start and get a time frame from them. Once I get that time schedule and their worksheets, I will email them out. That way you guys are aware of where they'll be and where they'll progress to and what side they're going to start on. So, and that's all I have for this evening.
Ms. Almendinger?
Thank you. I just have a few things. The new Memorial Hall sign has been installed, and we're excited to finally be able to support all of the organizations in promoting their events on our sign. So please reach out if you have something that you want to be promoted. We are tackling many of our off-season projects with the colder weather, and I'm going to try to say this part delicately, but we are dealing with an incredible amount of destruction and vandalism in both the Griggs and Central Park bathrooms. People are pulling off fence, destroying the baby changing stations, they're breaking mirrors, they're plugging the toilets. This is happening on a nearly daily basis. My team is spending a lot of time trying to clean up a variety of messes. And so I'm really just working on getting cameras installed. I'm really trying to just appeal to the community and ask them to help and encourage people to care about our property. I don't know how else to say it, but it's an uncomfortable subject, but we have a lot of destruction, and we can't really figure out if it's just kids, if it's, people are excited that the bathrooms are heated finally. We put a lot of effort in trying to present something to the community that would help us not have to spend so much time winterizing them and things like that, and now we're spending a lot of time of, cleaning up messes. So please be vocal if you see someone destroying something in city property in the parks. That would be very helpful to our team of people. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Cox?
Like everyone else has said, I think most everything that I had to discuss has been covered, so I'm just going to keep it brief and give a huge shout out to Melissa Little, who started last week as our new tourism director and public information officer. And she's already contacted Airbnb about collecting taxes on the rentals, and she's also been meeting with individuals and working to form the tourism board. And it's been very surprising, all of the participation that individuals are interested in this in the board, and we think that we're going to be able to accomplish a lot strategically, working together to promote each other and work together, and that will be definitely positive for our community. Also, we are working on the budget, so make sure to attend the committee meetings, because each department will be discussing their capital requests at those committee meetings. And again, Miranda has been a huge help in the budget already, and I look forward to working with her throughout the process. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Gold?
Nothing right now.
We'll now have a report of claims committee.
The Committee on Claims filed a report in the amount of $4,019,641.25.
I move that we accept the January 28th claims report as presented.
A second.
Got a motion and a second to accept the claims. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carried. We'll now move on to old business. Madam Clerk.
The second reading of Council Bill 2504, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Missouri and Northern Arkansas Railroad Company Incorporated for the plan review of the McGregor Street Bridge in the amount of $39,061 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your votes.
Did it save on this?
Beg your pardon? Yeah, it went.
Looks correct.
Did you vote yes?
Yes.
I didn't show up.
Motion, Council Bill 2506 passes.
The second reading of Council Bill 2505, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to accept federal financial assistance in the amount of $87,000 on behalf of the city of Carthage and to execute any contracts resulting from accepting any grants between the city of Carthage and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission, providing for capital, operating, and/or marketing assistance comprised of federal funds to be expended for commission-approved transit projects.
Any discussion?
I make a motion, we accept Council Bill 2505.
Don't need a motion, thank you.
Okay.
Cast your votes.
I'm in.
Council Bill 2505 passes. New business.
We tabled Council Bill 2506, so we are on to mayor's appointments.
Okay.
And it's the mayor's standing committee appointments, which I believe appoints Ray West to the Budget Committee and Public Services Committee.
You need a motion?
Yes.
I make a motion that we accept the new standing committee appointments.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the appointment of Mr. West to the Budget Committee and the Public Services Committee?
Yes.
Is that, yes. Any discussion? Cast your votes. Appointment passes. Now move on to resolutions, Madam Clerk.
Resolution 2068, a resolution approving the declaration as surplus to the city's needs and authorizing the disposition of the former Memorial Hall digital sign.
I move we adopt Resolution 2068.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2068. Any discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2068 stands adopted.
Resolution 2069, a resolution of the City of Carthage, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to accept a cost-share grant from the Missouri Department of Conservation for the removal and replacement of invasive grasses at the Carthage Municipal Golf Course.
I move we adopt Resolution 2069.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2069. Any discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2069 stands adopted.
Resolution 2070, a resolution authorizing a supplemental budget adjustment to the General Revenue Fund for Central Municipal Activities Professional Services for Paul Martin in the amount of $10,658.25 for services rendered in December 2024.
I move we adopt Resolution 2070.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2070. Any discussion? Yes, Ms. Cox?
Thank you. In discussing the Resolution 2070 with John Gold, and then I also contacted Stuart Haynes at Missouri Municipal League. So there was some discussion last time surrounding Paul Martin's contract. I just want to state that their opinion on that was that the majority of the council has agreed to enter into the contract with Paul Martin. So therefore, if he performs any services under that contract, the city is obligated to pay for those services. And that's all.
Yes, Mr. West?
How long is the contract for?
There is not an ending date. It is
date?
through the impeachment.
Okay.
However, Stuart Haynes at MML did state that the contract cannot be binding upon a new council. So when we have a new council in April, then they can vote on the contract as well. Unless, I mean, naturally, right now, someone could make a motion to terminate the contract, and if that was to pass, then the contract would be terminated. But as it stands right now, because the majority of the council approved that contract, then it still stands.
Open at least until April. All right.
I have something here on.
Yes, Mr. Taylor.
Everybody knows that I voted against any more extra monies for Mr. Martin. And as a point of order, I am going to state that I think that the ordinance for impeaching the mayor is illegal because he was voted in by the voters, and to take that out of their hands, I think is an illegality. We have spent $80,667.11 up to now. And what do we have to show for it? We have nothing. That's just under $10,000 a month with no end in sight. Personally, I will not vote to pay him any more money. I think we've wasted enough of the citizens of Carthage's money. What's started as illegal continues to be illegal. The citizens of Carthage have had enough. I'm reaching out to everyone in Carthage to contact your council person and let all of us know just how you want this dealt with. I hear your pleas and will do all I can to help you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
I have.
Yes, Ms. Lees.
I agree, I don't want to promote any more money going forward, but I do feel like that we need to pay for the services rendered up until December, because that would be the right thing to do. But I feel like that we're just basically waiting on a decision for the judge on the ruling of whether there was not or there are enough votes, so I don't even think that all services, that we are going to need services going forward, so, but I am in favor of paying what we owe at this time, but not more.
Any further discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2070 stands adopted.
Resolution 2071, a resolution providing for the formal acceptance of an anonymous donation of $10,000 by the City Council of the City of Carthage, Missouri pursuant to city policy.
I move we adopt Resolution 2071.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2071. Any discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2071 stands adopted.
Resolution 2072, a resolution approving the declaration as surplus to the city's needs and authorizing the disposition of the former City Hall council chamber desks and donating them to the city of Miller.
I move we adopt Resolution 2072.
And I second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2072. Any discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2072 stands adopted.
Resolution 2073, a resolution of the City of Carthage, Missouri, stating intent to seek funding through a community development block grant program and authorizing the mayor to pursue activities in an attempt to secure funding.
I move we adopt Resolution 2073.
I second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2073. Any discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2073 stands adopted.
Resolution 2074, a resolution to correct the Carthage Water and Electric Board term of Darren Collier.
I move
that
we
accept
adopt Resolution 2074. I'm sorry, Lori, go ahead.
To adopt Resolution 2074.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2074. Any discussion? Yes, Ms. Cox.
Thank you. I just want to note that this resolution was drafted by our city attorney, John Gold, and the purpose is to correct an error that was made by our staff. When Mr. Collier was appointed to the Carthage Water and Electric Board, he was appointed to fill the vacant seat left by the passing of Neil Bockham. And when he was appointed, it was originally a 4-year appointment instead of just filling the vacancy of 2 years. And so this corrects that and aligns it to where his actual term should expire April of '26. But again, this is correcting an error that was made by our staff.
Any further discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2074 stands adopted.
And Resolution 2075 as amended, a resolution approving the declaration as surplus to the city's needs and authorizing the disposition of 8 Kenwood radios and donating 3 to the Carthage R9 School District Transportation Department and 5 to the Carthage Water and Electric Plant.
I move we adopt Resolution 2075.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2075. Any discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution 2075 stands adopted. Closing comments, Ms. Lees.
No, none, Your Honor.
Ms. Heckmaster?
I would just like to commend Ms. Schramm for all of the meetings that she's attending and reporting upon. Truly, you're an outstanding council person.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nothing else, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Barlow?
No, sir.
Ms. Schramm?
I just wanted to say that tomorrow is the ribbon cutting for the McCune Brooks Foundation new building, the Coyle Center, at 206 Grant Street at 11 o'clock. And I'm looking forward to attending the stakeholders meeting on Friday with Senator Loy and Representative Jill Carter.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor?
I have nothing tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Peterson?
Nothing further tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. West?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Peterson, you have a motion to make.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if I had to be the last guy. Yeah, I would like to move that we close the meeting according to section 610.021 subsection 2, because the agenda includes possibility of a vote to close part of the meeting to discuss leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate by a public governmental body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration therefore.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second to go into closed session. Any discussion? Cast your votes. We're in closed session. Ms. Deal, will you call roll, please?
Taylor,
Present.
Peterson,
Present.
West,
Present.
Lease. Present. Heckmaster,
Present.
Barlow,
Here.
Schrain.
Here.
I would entertain a motion to
I
adjourn.
make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Sorry, MK, we didn't give you time to get back online, did we?
Welcome.
Oh, did we? Okay.
You betcha.
Forward to the future.